Hi guys, welcome to the audit and assurance session. Today we are going to discuss a very important OT case of your AA exam. So let's read the scenario of this OT case first. Without stopping anywhere, I'll suggest you to read the whole scenario in one go. And then when you will reach at the first task, at the first requirement of your OT case, then you can refer back to the question again. Okay. And also keep your time management at priority. So let's say if your OT case is worth of 10 marks, and considering that you have in exam 1.8 minute per mark allowed to allocate, then how many minutes you have to solve that OT case fully? It means you have 18 minutes to do that OT case. Okay, so keep this in your mind and read the full scenario in one go, and then while reading the questions you can come back to your scenario again to read specifically the relevant section for that specific task. Okay, so let's start reading the scenario. So it's saying that it is 1st July 20x5. You are an audit supervisor with Tunnel and Company, and you are reviewing the audit of Scraper Company for the year ended 30th April 20x5. So for which year we are performing the audit? The year end of the company is 30th April 20x5. Okay, got it? Then the audit of trade receivables and prepayments was performed by the audit assistant Colin Welsh. The audit planning document required that a positive trade receivable confirmation, which is called circularization, be performed. The total value of trade receivables was 2.15 million. Okay. Results of the receivable confirmation extract is given to you people. So it says confirmation letters were sent out to the 10 largest customers totaling 409,000 together with 30 other balances which Colin selected using statistical sampling. All right. After analyzing the responses, the following working paper was performed. So this is an extract of a working paper that the audit assistant has prepared. Okay. So the 10 largest customers, number of accounts as 10. It means to the 10 customers, he has performed circularization, which amounts to 409,000. Okay. And then what balance did they confirm and what were the differences in total from between the reply of the customers and the record, the balance of the books in the books of the client. Okay, so the difference was 17, 9, 10. Then there is another row for other customers, 253, and number of items to be confirmed as of 30. Total amount was 1.74 million, and they have confirmed the total of 149,220, and the difference is shown. And then a total of all of these things is shown. Then with respect to the largest customers and other customers, further information is also provided. So let's read the first piece of information. So for largest customers, Colin identified that stale company is basically the receivable of our client. Stale company replied stating that the balance due was 41310 and that a payment of 8640 was made to Scraper Company on 29th April 2005. So what he did in response of his confirmation of its confirmation was that it replied that the balance at the year end, means at 30th April 20x5, from its point of view, it was 41310. Okay, and it also stated that they had already made a payment of 8640 but near the year end. Okay, so this is a keyword that they have made a payment near the year end, means on 29th April 20x5. All right. Then Scraper Company's accounting records showed that the balance outstanding was 59220. Now see guys, what does the client's record show? The client for which we are performing audit, its accounting records showed that the balance outstanding is 59220, but the receivable has confirmed that the balance was 41310. Why? Because they stated that they have already made a payment of 8640 on 29th April 20x5. Where then five of the other largest customers initially failed to respond. So they didn't respond at all initially, okay? Then for other customers, another piece of information is provided that states that following investigation, Colin discovered invoicing errors in three of the accounts which had been selected using statistical sampling. There were errors in the balances, okay? And the errors resulted in an overstatement of the customer's balances of 5040 in total. So there was an error and the error amount was 5040, right? Then the examiner want us to read another section related to prepayments and identify that what should be the correct response for the task related to prepayments, for the task related to the audit of prepayments. Okay, so included in prepayments are advertising cost of 76,500. Okay, so advertising cost is 76,500. Normally what does happen with advertising cost, as the advertising expense is incurred, it is deducted as an expense from profit or loss account statement. Okay, but what is the specific information related to this section is finance director advised Colin that the company started using the services of a new advertising company. Okay, so they are basically using the services of another company during the year. Okay, so this is the first time they have started using the services of the company during the year ended 30th April 20x5, right? Okay, and signed an annual contract which commenced on 1st February 20x5. Now you see guys that the contract is starting on 1st February 20x5 and our year end is 30th April 20x5. So contract is beginning on 1st February 20x5, but our year end is 30th April 20x5. Now what should happen that um, only the expense, the cost related to the months lying between February till April, which is February, March, April, 3 months cost should be expensed out, but the payment, the remaining months payment, for example, the remaining month is 9 months for which the payment is already being made on 1st Feb 20x5. For 9 months, there should be prepayment recognized. So at the year end accounts on 30th April 20x5, there should be prepayment related to the 9 months of this year. Okay. So the full amount of contract was paid in advance. Because it was paid in advance, so we should recognize a prepayment, right? Then, question number 1. Indicate by clicking on the relevant. Now we are starting solving the questions. The question number 1 is indicate by clicking on the relevant boxes in the table below whether each of the following statements applies to a positive receivable confirmation, a negative receivable confirmation, or both. So what do we have to do now, guys? It's not more related to the scenario. I can say that I'll read the statement and I'll identify whether this is an attribute of positive confirmation or whether it is a characteristic of a negative confirmation or whether is it related to both of them. Okay, so let's read the first statement. The first statement is provides audit evidence to satisfy the objective of testing existence. Okay guys, now tell me, regardless of the type of the confirmation that we circularize, whether is it positive or negative, the process of circularization confirms the assertion of existence. Okay, even though we perform positive or we perform negative confirmation, in both cases, they will confirm us the existence assertion, right? So what should be our answer? The answer should be both. The second statement is about what does examiner write? That cannot be used as a sole substantive procedure unless the population consists of a large number of small homogeneous balances. Okay, guys, we have studied that if our population consists of a very large number of population and the individual balances are small in amount and they are homogeneous balances, we can perform negative confirmation. Okay, so in that specific case, the negative confirmation is circularized, and if your population also contains big amount or big balances, then we can perform positive confirmation. And the last one is the customer is requested to reply indicating whether they agree or disagree with the balance included in the request. Please remember, whenever the customer is required to reply in both cases, if they agree or disagree, they have to reply. This type of confirmation is called positive confirmation. Okay, in negative confirmation, we only require customers to reply if they disagree with our balance stated as per client's records. Okay, so you see that the first task is based on the general knowledge about positive and negative confirmation. Okay, so if you have the clear idea of positive and negative confirmation concept, you can get 2 marks from your first question and you can do it correctly. Then moving forward, the second question is case related scenario. So let's read the requirement. Which of the following actions should Colin Walsh have taken on initial receipt? So it's not like the final response, it's on initial. It's just like you have obtained the response. Now, what will you do? On initial receipt of the response from stale company. So I can refer back to my question to see what was the case related to the stale company. So we had read that Colin had identified that stale company replied stating that the balance due was 41310 and that a payment of 8640 was made to Scraper on 29th April 20x5. And Scraper company's accounting records showed that the balance outstanding was 59220. Okay, the case was that the balance as per the client's accounting record was more as compared to the balance the customer has confirmed us. The customer has confirmed us the less amount of balance and the records show us the more amount of balance. Okay, and there was a difference of 8640, and there's also a reason mentioned in this piece of information was that the difference was because that the customer had made a payment near the year end, one day before the year end, which is on 29th April 20x5. So the case might be that they had issued the payment of 8640, but our client has not received this payment by 30th April 20x5. This is the reason they have not updated the record on 30th April 20x5, and still the balance is showing to be 59220. So let's see now what is the requirement. Okay, what actions should audit assistant have taken, right? So the number one thing is, what should I do? That inspect in respect of 8640. Okay, so there was one more piece of information that 5 of the other largest customers initially failed to respond, and there was also a table given. If I see that, uh, if I see that from 10 largest customers, okay, the total difference was coming out to be 17910. Guys, please think, if from total difference of 17910, 8640 difference was related to stale company for which we have a clear reason in our mind, it means the remaining difference is 17910 minus 8640 is coming out to be 9270. And this difference relates to the 5 of the other largest customers who have not initially responded, who have not responded at all. Okay, who have initially failed to respond. So we have to tell the steps on the initial response, on the initial receipt of both of the response. Okay, so the first statement is inspect pre-year end invoices and goods dispatch notes for the evidence of an order for 9270 sent to stale company. Okay, sent to other customers. It should be written as like this. Okay. Or from state company, yes. So 9270, for which we have not received the response yet, what we can do? What were other alternative procedures? Yes, we can inspect. We will check whether the client has issued invoices and client has issued GDNs or not. Okay, so what we will do, we will check the audit trail for this 9270 difference. So yes, this is the relevant step that auditor's assistant should take. Then inspect correspondence with state company for evidence of disputed invoices and discuss with management. Okay, this could be the step that audit assistant should take, but this is not the step that he should take on the initial steps. Okay, when he received the response and he saw that there is a difference, one because of the payment made near the year end, and the other because they have not sent the response at all. Initially, he will not inspect the correspondence with state company. Initially, what he will do that, first of all, for the payment made on 29th April 20x5 from the customer, he will check client's post year end bank statement to see that after the year end, he is receiving this amount or not. This way, we can confirm that yes, this is just the difference because the payment was made on 29th April 20x5. And for these, what he will do that he will check the audit trail for the balance which is not confirmed at all. And then after that, uh, he can check the correspondence as well. I am not selecting this statement just because this is not my initial response. I can perform this step, but not on the initial stage. Then agree receipt of the 8640 to the post year and bank statement. Yes, it's correct. I already told you that post year and bank statement will reflect this 8640 receipt. Then I'll not ask management to adjust the year-end balance for the difference of 17910 without investigating the reasons for differences. Okay. And at the initial stage, I'm not confirmed that whether this is because of an error or not. Okay, so I'll see the reasoning and then I'll take the relevant steps. So the what should be the answer? Answer should be 1 and 3. Very well done. Then let's move forward to the third question. Identify by clicking on the relevant boxes in the table below whether each of the following are suitable alternative procedures to confirm the year-end balance in respect of the 5 customers who didn't respond to the confirmation. So what I have to do is I'll read every single of these 3 statements and I'll think that whether this step is an alternative procedure for these 5 customers or not. The number 1 statement is inspect post-year-end invoices and GDNs for each customer to confirm the amount recorded in the ledger at the year-end. Guys, see, we are confirming the amount at the year-end, and to confirm the amount in the ledger at the year-end, should we check post-year-end invoices and GDNs or pre-year-end invoices and GDNs? Yes, you're right. Pre-year-end invoices and GDNs should be checked to confirm the amount at the year-end because our client is acting as a seller in this piece of information, right? And if he has issued invoices and GDNs before the year end, it means the control of goods has already been transferred and there should be the amount recognized in the sales and receivable ledger at the year end. Okay. Checking post year end invoices and GDNs will not give me any evidence about the confirmation of the amount recorded in ledger at the year end. Okay. So the answer should be no. If he had written that pre-year end invoices and GDNs, then the answer should be yes. Okay. The second statement is review the aged receivables listing at the date of the audit to confirm post-year end cash receipts from each customer and agree receipts to the bank statements. Yes. Okay. My first alternative procedure is that whether I should check pre-year end invoices and GDNs, and my second response could be that if I check post-year end cash received or post-year end bank receipts from that customer, it means the customer is paying us because there is already sale made before the year end. Okay, so indirectly it confirms us that the sale is made at the year end. Okay, so confirming receipts in the post year end bank statement also gives us an evidence about the balance or about the amount recorded in the ledger at the year end. So the answer should be yes. Now see the third statement. Review the allowances for receivables to ensure that the balances due from these customers are included. Okay, guys, you should see that the confirmation from the customer or response on the confirmation from the customer doesn't confirm us that they're going to pay us as well. They are responding us doesn't mean that they will pay to the client as well. So the confirmation response, because the issue was the 5 customers were not responding to our confirmation at all. So whether they should respond or not doesn't confirm us that we should create an allowance for those balances of 5 customers or not. Okay, so this is irrelevant here. So the answer should be no. Allowances is creating an allowance is not related to the response of the customer. Okay, sometimes the customer respond but they do not pay, so we have to create allowance for that customer as well. Okay, then next, see the question number 4 is based on the error discovered in the statistical sample of other customers, which of the following amounts to the nearest dollar would be the estimated total error in the population of the trade receivables. So yes, we have performed circularization on the sampling basis, and that the sampling was statistical sampling, right? And the error was amounting to 5040 in total. So we what will we do? We will extrapolate this differences, that we will extrapolate this difference to the whole population. We'll think that if from out of the population of 149,220 of the sample, the difference is 5040, then if we would have performed the circularization to the total of the amount of 1.7 million, then what could have been the difference? Okay, so let's extrapolate it. So what will I do? That this 5040 difference relates to the 149,220 sample. Okay, and I'll multiply it with the total population to see what would have been the difference if I had performed the circularization on the total of the amount. So I am extrapolating the difference. What should be the answer, guys? 5040 divided by 149,220 multiplied by 1741000. The answer should be 58803. So the errors in the total of population on the basis of extrapolation would be 58803. So the answer is Charlie. And I'll ignore the other answers because it's purely calculation based, and I'll not bother what's been written in alpha, beta, or delta option. Then see the last question. Our last question is which of the following procedures should be carried out to determine whether the prepayment. So this is the only question which is related to prepayment in relation to the advertising cost, to confirm that it is understated. Okay, to see that prepayment is not understated, the only method we can check it via recalculation or reperformance. We will obtain the contract and we will perform the recalculation, reperformance in order to check what should be the prepayment balance at the year end. If the records doesn't show the balance equal to the amount that we have recalculated, it means the prepayment balance at the year end is incorrect, whether it will be understated or whether it will be overstated. Let's read the statements. Compare the prepayment to the prior year. This is totally irrelevant because I told you while reading the question, while reading the scenario, that they have started using the services of this new company during the year. It means in the prior year they have not used the services of this advertising company. Okay, so this is totally irrelevant. You should read the whole statement and investigate any significant differences. Okay, after reading the whole statement, I thought that this is a relevant statement. I'll not select this. Then review the signed contract for details of the services provided and confirm that scraper company will receive future economic benefits as a result of the contract. Guys, reading the contract and confirming that yes, the client will receive future economic benefits only confirms us what right on that asset, not confirms us the amount at the year end, not confirms us whether the amount recorded in the ledger at the year end, recorded as a balance at the year end, in the balance at the year end is correct or not. So this only confirms us right. This is not confirming us the correct amount. This is not confirming us the valuation. Okay, so that's why I'll not select the option. Okay, then the third statement is inspect the cash book or bank ledger for evidence of the amount paid to the advertising company and agrees to the signed contract. Again, my inspection of the cash book or bank ledger during the year on 1st February 20x5, I'm confirming that whether they have made the payment to the advertising company or not. Okay, is it really happened or not? Okay, so this is confirming us about the happening of the event only. This is not confirming us the balance. This is not telling me what should be the balance at the year end of the prepayment. Okay, so only the option, I think option number 4, inspecting the signed contract and confirming the commencement date, and then I should recalculate the contract cost for May to January 20x6, to which the contract belongs. Then I can confirm that, okay, then what will I do? I'll perform recalculation and I'll confirm that what should be the balance at the year end of 30th April 20x5. Only this option will give me the confirmation about the balance, that it is not understated. That's why my answer should be 4 only. And here our OT case discussion ends. Thank you so much guys for your time. See you in the next session.